Okay, I'm going to show you several different ways of making thin strips. And this is one of them here. I got all these pictures off of YouTube. And here's, but you can see the thin strip jig. It's a funny jig here. And these are little strips they get. But what gets me is I would never use one of these because their hands are so close always to that blade. Okay, so I'm showing all different kinds. Here for a few strips. And here's the jig right here, how it works. But all these fingers so close every time I see anything. And it's the little strips, and I don't really know what they do with those little strips. So I'm going to show you a better way I've got it, which I've been using for probably 40, maybe 50 years. And a lot of guys use that method. And I'm going to go over by the saw, and I'm actually going to set one of these up and show you just how it works. And so like every time you cut one strip, you got to stop and move the straight ripset fence on it. So I'm going to go over by the saw here and start that up and show you how I would do it. I got a block of wood. I want to cut a strip off here about that wide. So I lay it in here and I move my rip fence so this is just touching here. And then I run it through, so I'm going to run it through now. So it'll be noisy for a second. See now this is cutting on a wrong. Normally we'd be cutting this piece off, but that's why this whole jig system is wrong. It's cutting on the wrong side of the blade. Now you notice when the blade got here, it starts wiggling. Well, people have a tendency they're going to go over and grab that. Well, they're always too close to the saw. So I'm going to set it up again. Now I come back here, and I'm going to move my rip fence over. For each one you got to move my rip fence over. So I'm going to go ahead and cut this one. I reached over to catch that, but see, I've got a red line here, and I was within the red line from the saw, and I shouldn't be. I should be out here. The cutoff is right there, and that's jiggling up and down as I was cutting off. Let me make another cut, and you'll see how that wiggles and how do you really handle that. See, I'm going to cut here. See, again, I got to move it right up to there, and that's where accuracy is going to be real hard to keep. Now that piece could have tipped the other way, which means your saw could have taken it right there and right at you. And if you notice, I'd have to have a narrow, if I go to another one here, I'd have to have a narrower, and this block keeps getting smaller, so I would have to have a different push stick on it like this. And so now I'm going to take this thing off and show you how I find the best way to cut it after about 75 years of working with wood in a shop, on a job site, all over. We call it a flip cut, and you'll see right away why I call it a flip cut. So I'm going to take this off. I don't longer need this thing. This is going to go in the garbage, unless I want to show somebody, but it's just not a system that I really want to use. This is 36 inches long, so I know 18 inches should be about what this saw. But I got to have something here. I'm always hanging at this because I am full control of this stick at all times. So I'm going to run it through. I'm going to cut a real thin strip. There's my stick. I can make it any thickness I want, and I can keep going all day long. And here it took me how long to make these 3 strips. I can just keep on making them any thickness I want. Okay, now watch my hand. See the red line here? And here, that's the space for my hand. That's the only place I want my hand, because the saw doesn't come there, so it can't cut me. If you notice, at all times I got full control of both sticks. I got my hands on both of these. This here, one stick all of a sudden is all by itself. This one is never coming here. It's never going to go anyplace but stay there, because I'm going to hanging on it here, and I'm not going to go past that fence. So I don't care what happens there. You wiggle around back and forth. It's not going to throw that thing up at me, because I got a good handle here. Okay, I'm gonna come through here and make some real thin strips. I'll make probably about 3 strips out of this little piece. Again, move my... At all times I had total control on both those sticks. There's no way for that thing to get away. And on thin strips like this, you want your saw a little bit higher, because what's happening is you're cutting, your saw is this way, and it's literally holding that down. If you get too close, it wants to raise it up. Now I've cut in strips. I'm going to try one more here if I can do it here. Now to cut these on that thing, forget it. There's no possible way to do it with this jig at all, because it just wouldn't work. Even if some of them have some real fancy jigs, they got ball bearings here and everything, even that wouldn't work. And then again, it's only short pieces. Now I want to show you on my saw here. One thing I want to show you now while I've got this here is my zero clearance, which you should always have on a saw, because most saws, job site saws like this and a small one there, they're just not, there's only one on the market I've ever seen. That's a DeWalt that's got a regular changeable insert here with a saw, so you have to make your own always, and that's why I made this one here, and it's been working for a long time. If I want to change the saw, I still can get in there. But I also have another one here which I made. This is a plate that normally goes in there, but you've got such a big space on each side of the blade that piece of sticks can get in there, and that's what you want to prevent. Okay, so here I just took a piece of masonite, just the size of the table here. Now I very seldom use a miter saw, miter gauge on a table saw. So then this still will fit on here, you see? And then you got a real nice thing there, and you still have your red lines on there, and I can do everything on here as I was doing on there. And that's a real simple, fast one. And very seldom you're going to use a miter gauge. My feeling is that a table saw is for ripping long boards. A miter saw is for cross-cutting. And don't try to cross-cut anything on a table saw, even with the miter gauge, because it can flop around. All you have to do is go on YouTube and look at table saw accidents. And you find almost every one of them, because a little block or something, a little piece of plywood there, flipping over and hitting the guy. This system, this won't do it. Again you can see I've got full control of these two sticks. They're not going to get away from me. They're not going to jiggle in it because I'm holding both of them this way and this way. That thing over there, you don't know where that thing's going to fly. I'm scared of it. I hope nobody uses them anymore. So you just go ahead and cut these down this way. I'll do that too. Now, one thing you got to remember, this saw is probably about the cheapest saw you could buy. The one thing about it, it comes with a 10-inch blade, and you never need a 10-inch blade on a saw like this. Please don't ever put one on there because it just wrecks the saw. This is a 7 1/4 inch blade, and it's all you need. But you can see here the accuracy of that thing. Okay, you can see the circle here. That means that strip is just about the same thickness all the way through. And there's no way to do that with this. No way at all. So my feeling is these are throw away or junk. And I've been doing it like this for probably 40 years, maybe longer, because I did a lot of outside construction. Now I'm going to do another one. I'm going to do a real long one. Okay, well this is about a 7-foot long board, 8 foot, 9 foot, 10 foot, 12 on construction. Most of the time construction, we don't have anything on the back or the front. But most of the time, the guys will take this board and they'll start going in here. What's going to happen if there's somebody standing over there or over there or over there? They're going to run to that blade saw and try to hold this up for you. They're thinking they're doing you a favor. But what I tell them is that don't touch that blade. Don't touch that because I've got full control of it all the way through here. So I'm going to turn the saw on and cut it through. Cut it through. And this little thing here, or that, no, couldn't be done. But you can do it time after time again. Real nice strips. A lot of times construction need a bunch of strips like that, fillers and that. And here, if you notice that by the time I got here, I'm pretty well balancing here. Yeah, it's not here. That's why I never want anybody on that other end of that board. If I see two guys do that, I separate them right away. And it goes through here. Take it till you can stop at any point here. The flip cut, flip it over and safely go there. And my hand is about 8-9 inches away from the blade. And you'll never cut your finger if you're 8-9 inches away from the blade. I can guarantee that. Because I did it for pretty close over 75 years, and I still have all my fingers. I have not one single nick in there, and I think that's proof enough, which test system is the best. I would never use it. I do not recommend it. If you have one, throw it away, but don't ever use it. It's just, there's no point to it. You don't need it. Thank you.